We are going to call our meeting to order. And I'm going to just ask everybody that's on the Zoom with us in the room to please introduce yourself.
Ben Hassan, Commissioner District 6.
James Kendrick, a business person.
Jordan Johnson, Augusta Commission, District 1.
Morris Porter, Vice President of the National Action Network, CSRA.
Sue Parr, President of the Augusta Metro Chamber of Commerce.
Phyllis Johnson, Compliance Director.
For Lois, the back pay issue.
Wayne Brown, General Counsel.
Matthew Duncan, Attorney and President of Equality Augusta.
Lena Bonner, Clerk of Commission.
Ms. Klein,
Zena McLean Heyman, Senior Staff Attorney, Augusta Law Department.
okay. Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for being on Zoom, and you can thank me later that you did not have to come out in the rain to be at this meeting today. Those who came out chose to, but thank you for coming, and thank you for being supportive and being flexible to change the time and look over the changes that our department, law department have made, what we had suggested, and a couple of more changes that we thought fit. So given that, if everyone have had an opportunity to look over the document, want to know if anyone have any questions or concerns, or well, let me do it this way. Attorney Brown, do you or Ms. McLean want to say what you, the changes that you have made that's highlighted, or wherever you want to go with it first, and then we'll open it up to the floor. How about committee?
Yes, ma'am, I'll do that. The changes are highlighted and it only involves page 5 and 7. On page 5, because of what you're instructed on page 7, when reading through, I also noticed that the proposed ordinance is always provided that the mediator's fees could be assessed against the non-prevailing party. So we bring that language, we have brought that language into conformity with the hearing officer's fee. And you have highlighted where it states any fees charged by the mediator may be assessed by the hearing officer to the non-prevailing party in the same manner as the hearing officer's fees as set forth below, unless at the conclusion of the mediation, both parties agree to assess the cost of mediation in some other manner, and if so, that manner shall be placed in writing and signed by both parties. The only change there is that we tie the mediator's fees that may be assessed, that determination will be made by the hearing officer if the hearing officer deems that assessing fees against a non-prevailing party are warranted. That is the same, I think that need to be read in conjunction with the change on page 7, number 3, which simply states that the hearing officer's fees may be assessed to the non-prevailing party if the hearing officer finds that the respective claim or defense is unjustified, frivolous, or patently unfounded. That was the specific instructions from the group at the last meeting. The hearing officer does not have to assess fees, but the hearing officer may assess fees if the hearing officer feels that the claim itself or defending the claim was clearly unjustified, frivolous, or patently unfounded. Also, number 5, the hearing officer must submit all documentation of his or her decision to the compliance department within 10 days. The change there was previously Savannah, unlike any other jurisdiction, also said that the decision would be delivered to the elected officials and the county manager or administrator. That was removed because in that this is a quasi judicial proceeding, this should remain in the judicial hands, and that is the hearing officer. And for city records, they will be stored with the compliance department. If either side is dissatisfied, of course, they do not come to the commission, they go to civil magistrate court. But the records would be preserved by the compliance department in the event that the civil magistrate court called for those records. And the last change that you approved last time, which is in 6, moves the time for an appeal by any dissatisfied party. You move that from 14 days to the standard 30 days. And those were the changes.
Attorney Brown, on page 7, B, you have any subsequent violation?
Yes,
Highlight.
we were just simply correcting a grammatical error. It had subsequent violations, and the pattern of that is that for the first violation, the maximum that could be assessed would be $500, and for any subsequent violation, it could be $1,000. So we removed the S from violations and put violation, which is consistent with 1-6-1 of the Augusta Code.
Okay. Is that all, Attorney Brown?
Yes, ma'am.
Any comments from the committee or the group that's in the room?
Madam Chair, I do have a question.
Who is?
Morris Porter.
Okay.
Regarding B, about the penalties that's been assessed to the violators. Is this like an ongoing fee? After they've had 1, 2, 3 fees, 3 violations, this amount, is we capped at $1,000?
Yes.
I'm asking this question regarding, just say, for example, you get I don't know, owner of Top Golf that's making $1 million a week or something. $1,000 to him or her is not, it's not scratching anything from him. Is there additional penalties that can be assessed if a person or a company on both sides, whether they're the violator or the complainant, have maybe three complaints within a calendar year or something like that, or can they just pay it off and continue to discriminate?
Attorney Brown.
That's really up to this body and eventually to the commission to decide if this body feels that there need to be some progressive, the fine should be done in a progressive manner. But so far, this committee has indicated it did not want to do that. It has nothing to do with law. It's really a policy decision that this body would have to make. But also remember, ultimately, if a person, whether it's this code section or any other ordinance section, if you continue to violate the Augusta, Georgia code, the ultimate punishment is to revoke their business license.
Thanks for that clarity. That's what I was looking for.
And that need not be in this ordinance because that is a general rule for any code violations. But that would be a decision of the commission. It would not be a decision of the hearing officer. If the hearing officer finds there have been repeat violations, et cetera, They may want to bring that to the attention of the compliance department. Compliance department then could make a recommendation to code enforcement or to the commission to whom the compliance department report, and the commission would treat that like any code violations.
Thank you. Commissioner Johnson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, I'll say this, I think that these highlighted sections, they certainly address what we were discussing at our last meeting. And so the question that I have is that, just in my full opinion, I think that we're ready to send this forward. Question for clarity, since this came from the full commission, are we at liberty to send this to full commission, or does this have to go to our committee cycle? I guess that's a question for either our general counsel or our clerk of commission.
I think traditionally, unless specified by the commission, the protocol is to run an item through the committee so that the commission, not on a full commission day, has an opportunity to discuss it. Technically, there are speaking limits, time limits when you come, even though we don't always enforce them as a body, there are speaking time limits for the full commission, and the purpose of the committee is to be able to have a full discussion and also allow the public, if the public has something to say about it, they will have an opportunity to say about it before you make your final decision. But the commission itself said, hey, look, we want this matter said the next meeting on Tuesday, the commission happened to say, hey, we want that to come straight to us, then we could do it. Otherwise, it needs to go to committee.
Madam Chair, I concur with General Counsel with that. While the commission did directly appoint the working group, it did not amend its rules for the group to work in accordance with. So I agree with, again, with Attorney Brown's assessment that it goes through committee, which is technically a commission work session, which gives more flexibility than our formal meetings for both the commission as well as the public. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
And that will be November 9th, correct?
If someone decides to place it on there, yes.
Oh, I mean, the committee?
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
Administrative services.
Well, Madam Chair, if I could, I would like to suggest that we move to send this ordinance to the Administrative Services Committee for the November 9th meeting.
Ms. Bonner, do we have to put this in a motion, or could we do by consensus?
I would suggest consensus because other members have been added since the commission appointed the group. So we could just do it by consensus of the group. And everyone present will be listed on the meeting minutes, which could be researched to see who was in agreement or those who were not. So
Thank you. Any more concerns, questions, comments before we move this by consensus to our committee cycle for November 9th and to the Administrative Service Committee? All right, can I see a show of hands? And I can't see, or everybody thumbs up
I'll
or
call them
wave.
out. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you,
Mr.
ma'am.
Duncan, he's muted. You're muted, sir.
Sorry, yes.
Okay, Commissioner Johnson,
Yes, ma'am.
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
Scott, Ms. Parr? You're muted.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Mr. Kendrick?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Porter,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Sun,
I'm on there. Yes, ma'am.
Here we go.
okay, the mayor is on. So we'll ask Mr. Mayor, you're muted. Would you like to? Obviously not, he's not responding. So it appears you have consensus from the working group, Madam Chair.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks, everybody. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you all so much for your support. We almost there, but thank you so much for all your work. We'll see you on November 9th.